Alright, happy Thursday. I think what's going to happen here today, the immediate, is I got to start measuring out here because I got to get people in here to get me estimates to get a building put up. A storage building, if you will. And I think it's going to go in here. The best options are here or on the other side. And I like the idea of putting it here because it'll just be more sound deadening to the house and be more convenient. But what I got to watch out for or take into consideration is to make sure these two doors stay functional, meaning I can get vehicles in and out, and I have a setback here. So I figure if I keep it kind of like straight, flush with the end of this building, that would be fine. And I'm going to have to get some trees out of here, which these are some big trees. But if I can start making room, bringing down some of these taller branches, and I can make room for stuff to come down, I think I might be able to piecemeal getting these trees out of here. But for now, I need to do some measurements and see which trees potentially need to come down, which means also then I got to get these roots and all this stuff dug up out of here. I sold a mini dozer. I had a mini dozer with a backhoe on it, and I wasn't using it at all, hardly. It was just sitting in the arena, and sold it. This is when I would need it to backhoe to get as much of these roots as possible. I'll have to rent Sunbelt, where I got that big chipper shredder from. They also have a big ass tracked tree stump grinder. I've used it previously. I'm going to need to use it again because I brought down some other trees in here. You can see it's a badass stump grinder. It's on tracks and it gets it. So I'll have to get down and dig some of this crap out with that stump grinder as well. But anyway, let me get measuring this, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a switch where that keyway or key thing is on that scissor lift. I think I'm just going to put an on-off switch there and turn it on, and then it has a start button on it. So I just need to put a toggle so I don't have to keep hot wiring it, jump starting it, if you will. But anyway, let me get to measuring this and see what dimensions I come up with for a building. I went around here a couple of 3 times, and I'm kind of thinking I can have a corner, the front facing left corner right here, and that'll leave a pathway to put a trailer or something outside along here if need be, or I can drive through here. It's back far enough so I can still facilitate those 2 stalls. Lets me get in and out of that door. I can put a side door on here too to go in and out of there if need be. So that's 21 feet from here back to the corner of the structure there, and going 40 feet that way. So I think a 21 by 40, which means this tree, 4 trees would have to go. These 3 here and that one there. Because 40 is about out to here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. 21, it's definitely 21. Now it's just going to be the matter of the length. 40 or 30. You always want more. If I did 21 by 30, I'd surely say, man, it'd be nice to have that extra space. So let me mark off that again with some sticks and give some visual reference, and that'll help me visualize. That way I can pull in to here as well. Into here. But I'm kind of thinking that this would be I'm still thinking of putting my lift and whatnot in that garage over there. And this would be like for project stuff, equipment, things of that nature. Things that need to get under cover. The concrete padding, I'm going to do, whatever I do, I'm going to do more concrete padding because I don't want to have it just immediately go from surface or gravel to concrete to the, into the entrance of the bays. So I want to have an offset. I want to have a pad space enough to get a vehicle up on or get the equipment pulled up onto it. It just helps keep from dragging shit into the stalls. If you're going straight from gravel or the dirt, you're just tracking things right immediately into the structure. So I am going to be doing some extra having some extra concreting being done. But I got to get some estimates rolling on this. So let me get this marked off a little bit better now that I understand what it is I'm doing a bit, and go from there. Okay, so 21 by 40 puts a corner here to here. So that's 21, and 40 is from here basically to here. I gotta bring this one up, I think. No, that's about straight on with the building there. So this is 40 and this is 21 up from the 40 right here. Come on, baby. Easier to see my 21 by 40 with a 20-foot breezeway between the barn and this building. So that gives me 20 foot between here and there. And it sets me back pretty good ways here so I can still use those bays. And that'll help deaden the noise from there. And that'll mean I got to bring down 1, 2, 3, and more than likely 4, 5, maybe 5 trees. These 2 here, just to get them out of the way and away from the building. And these 3 in here because they're kind of in the footprint, if you will. The concrete pad, so this will be padded, and I'm thinking I can run the concrete pad kind of flush with this one here. So the pad would be basically like $25 by 40. That would be the basic pad size. Okay, that is done, I think. So 21 by 40, 21 by 30. That's going to be the question. Do I want to go 40 or 30? 30 is just less of everything. Less cost for concrete, less cost of building. I've always kind of been thinking 20 by 40, but we'll see. I actually started off I should have just did what I knew I needed to do. First got here to this place should have just put up, I was going to do a 20 by 50. I ran over this morning. I ran over this. It fell out of the frickin' buggy and I couldn't stop in time. And of course, I'm backing up, so it fell out, you know, behind the front wheel as I'm backing up. That sucked. I got it straightened out. I was going to put a 20 by 50 back there and tie it into those 4 bays, and I didn't for various reasons. And I should have just did it and dealt with other things afterwards. Alright, so now I need to, actually, I don't need to go anywhere on this. I got to get some switches and stuff out of the shop here to see if I can't wire in a switch to that other track, or to that other scissor lift, and hook the fuel line back up to it. I'm gonna run some fuel through it first, just to drain, you know, to flush out that tank a little bit, see what comes out of it. I've got a little canister with me to catch the gas, so okay, that's what I'm gonna go do. Before too long, be a new building. I just called the electrician about roughing in the lines for the new well. I talked to the well driller about 15 minutes ago. He's dropping the permits, and that's going to be a bunch of frickin' work because I got to terminate the water lines from the old building, from the old well, and terminate those lines and reconnect them to the new well. I got to get Delmarva, our electric, our service provider. I got to get a new meter to this barn for the electricity because it's on that meter, and I don't want it tied into the house because there's just too much going on with the house. I don't know if you've noticed. Just with the house, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 HVAC units in this house. Separate HVAC units. Yes, I said 7. How's that? So there's just too much going on with the house. So there's water and electric going from there to there, and there's water going from there to the house. I need to get the water moved to the new pump for the house and for this, and I need Delmarva to put in a new line and meter for that shop. Oh man. Okay. That's that. Well, I had everything running, put a switch in, the switch was functioning, and then I went up there, put it, the steering was working. It was having a hard time driving out of here, and I think I put air in one tire. I got to get some air in these tires, and it's kind of in a hole down here, and I got to squirt some chain lube on these chains to help get them loosened up, because it's chain drive for these rear wheels. And anyway, and then I couldn't get it to start. It would turn over, and it wasn't starting. And then it wouldn't even turn over. I could just hear some clicking. Well, I noticed that the connections on the solenoid, these things, you know, it was barely making any contact. Well, anyway, I screwed up that solenoid. So now I got to go to Advanced Auto and get another solenoid and put it on there, and hopefully that's what the issue is. I think what I did when I loosened up one of the posts of the solenoid and wouldn't go back into position, and then when I connected the battery, it would turn over. All right, it would turn over when I connect the battery. So it was almost bypassing. I had a short in there somewhere, and it was just feeding direct power and bypassing the switch. So it was sparking a little bit, which isn't cool. Anyway, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And I was going to rob a solenoid off of that one over there, the starting solenoid. But it's bolted to the shroud in the same place this one is, except it's bolted with nuts on the back side. And to get at it, you got to take all this bullshit off. And I'm not going through all that, so I'll just go get a new one and screw it back into what these holes were. Anyway, and there's plenty of other solenoids. Look at there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 right there. That one makes 5, but I'm not sure what they're for. All these other ones. And I just don't want to take one off of there and find out it doesn't start because now I've removed one off of there. I'm not sure what all those are for. I think it's for some of the drive aspects in here. Different hydraulic drives. Puts power to them, takes power off of them. And they're tied in with these switches. Someday I'll trace this all down and figure out just what the hell's going on with it. But right now I just want to get it running and steering and drivable so I can just get it the hell out of here. I just want to get this crap done. I was hoping to be much further along today. I wanted to test drive this and then start loading stuff up and getting it to prep to get out of here. But I lost a day fricking around with this thing, which I thought it was going too easy. I knew something was going to have to give, and that was it. My bonehead move. Anyway, that's that. Well, I got it fired back up. I broke that other solenoid, so I put a new one on there and fired right up. It's running not swell, but I think that's just because of that hose, that fuel line hose. I should, damn it, when I was at Napa, I should have got some fuel line hose. I'm going to put some more fuel in this thing. Got to get those chains taken care of. Well, I'm just going to let it do that for a second. This is a low idle. Right on. Turn it up. Right on. Yeah, I think I got to get these the drive chains greased up, get that pump dug out over there. The beast is beastified. Alright, check this out. Yahoo-wee. It rocks, man, but it's running. I can drive it out of here. Hold down. That's the joke. Huh. Thought I heard something spray. Might have been the rain. I hope I didn't break a hose. Thing's been just sitting for more than 5 years, I know that. Anyway, it starts up and it runs and it'll get the hell out of here. That's what counts. I got some other stuff to do on it, but I'll do that once I get it out of here. That's right now, getting it out of here. I did spray these chains a bit. Oh yeah, man, they need much more spray. Right on. See, on this side over here, these lines go to this. These lines here go to this ram. I don't know why they're not on this ram. I don't know if they're broke or what the deal is. Right on, it moved, it drove, it starts. It's a score. It's been sitting right here ever since I bought this property. And that's been 5 years ago. And now it's sitting there. I did get the yellow one I mentioned. I did get the yellow one running. Well, I've used that yellow one before. I wish I would have put some time into this one. So the yellow one, the rams are, where's my spray stuff? Maybe that'll help them out. The rams were, they're leaking. They leak down. You get up, so you have to keep the damn thing running, and then it overheats and it gets fuel lock. Vapor locks, it gets so hot, and it's not good for the thing just to sit there. You know, like when I'd go up to change the light bulbs, I'd have to keep it running, and I'd have to get way up there, do work, and then before it came down too far, I'd have to raise it back up again. And you just kept having to have it run. It gets hot, you know. That's why I put all that insulation around that tank I put in this thing, because even that I was getting vapor locked. I might have to take these rams out myself, and maybe I'll have them repaired. But at least that way I can get them out of here and get them down to the hydraulic shop. The ones on the grapple on the Bobcat, I think I can do those. Time and money, man. Time and money. That's all it takes. It's time and money. That's a good score, man. That thing's moved. Ready to head out the door. I'll probably have to move it again. But if I can make it the last thing I take out of here, you know, this stuff I can just hook onto, snatch it, and move it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll try to back that thing into right here. Or maybe I'll just back it I'll corner it this way, so if I do have to wind up pulling it out of here, at least I'll have a shot at it. So let me do that. I'm going to fire it back up and back it up here a little bit. Does this thing turn on or off? That's my new key. My new key. I don't have to hotwire it anymore. How's that for? All right, come on, baby, fire up. Thing backs up like a beast. box, man. Talk about stopping. Gotta knock you right the hell off of here is what it'll do. I can hook onto all this stuff over here now and get it on out of here. Cool. Cool beans, man. Thing's functioning. I can sell it, use it, do whatever. With it running, that's running and functioning like that makes it a whole lot more appealing for somebody to buy it other than scrap weight. That's for sure. That thing's such a beast though. That is the one big hoss. Got some air in the tires. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put my box back together here with my new switch and call it. Alright, so I've already been out this morning. Had to clean some obstruction out of this gutter. So now it's flowing pretty damn well. And then my goal here is to kind of start figuring out how much space I have in here to get various implements in. Yeah, it's like I fixed that thing once and I gotta fix it again. See how much space I have in here for implements and quad and gator until I can get that other building put up. But that way some stuff can stay out under tarp, other stuff I prefer to have it under an actual structure, keep it out of the weather. So given that, I'm just trying to think. This is a big ass generator, house generator. We had to buy a switch. The switch I had to buy for this thing to do the whole house was almost as much as the generator. Go figure that out. So I'm just trying to make as much space in between pieces of equipment here. Like this could go over further or come over further. I'd rather it go over that way further, then it creates more space in between here. And like I pulled these two closer, I tightened these two up a bit, which makes more space in here. I think I'm gonna push that around so it's kind of flush up against the wall there. And do that. But I'm gonna go down into the arena. I'll probably run this down to the arena today. I've got an attachment. Is it in here or is it down in the arena? It might be down in the arena. I have a ball hitch attachment. Well, you know, there's a ball there, but I have an attachment that takes a receiver hitch so I can hook the trailer on, and I think I'm going to start getting those wood pallets and the jumps and stuff get that stuff out of the arena. And maybe I got to use the flatbed trailers for as much as possible. Get everything out of there that I can, and then get one of the Broncos. I could actually do the black Bronco sooner than later because it's going to be undercover, and I got to do some jostling around. The black Bronco I've changed up. It's going to go where the Torino is, and the Torino is going to go over into the garage with the Shelby, and that Gator and Quad are going to need to find a home, probably in here. And that's what I'm trying to squeeze to get room in. If I could get the Gator and Quad in over here, that'd be awesome. I'd love to put them into the cargo trailer, except the problem is I screwed up so bad. That's eating one of your mistakes. I bought that cargo trailer to hold the Gator when we were going to horse shows and stuff. Well, I measured it, and the height inside the trailer more than exceeds the height of the Gator and the rollover bar. Well, when you're going up the ramp to drive the Gator in there, the lip of the door comes down, and the Gator going up creates this angle that the trailer is really not tall enough to get the Gator in. So I bought that trailer for the Gator, primarily, other purposes, but primarily for the Gator, and I can't even load it in there. And I bought that trailer 3-4 years ago, and I've probably, whatever, 5 years. It's been more than 5 years. I've had that trailer maybe 6 years. So I used it to move some of the stuff from the other property over to here. I had engines and things in it stored there for a while. So anyway, let me get down to the arena. I got stuff in the back of this. It's just getting wet. But that's the goal. I'm going to get those wood and pallets out, and then I'll be back down here to figure out what's going on in here. Yeah. Okay, I got the little ball hitch adapter on the little John Deere here. And I don't have the pucks that go on in. They're all on other attachments, and you pin them in, so I'm not going to jack with that, and I'm not taking that off to hook this up. So that'll work fine, because I'm just going to load up a bunch of that crap down there, the pallets and jumps and that stuff, load that up on here. So anyway, the other attachment was in the barn when I was moving stuff around. I got to suck that winch cable in. I had it pulled out just to fart around with the stuff there. And that will enable me to start loading this stuff up. The reason I didn't bring a truck in to hook this up to, man, you can whip this trailer around so easily with the tractors. And I'm just going from one end of the property to the other. It's just a lot less hassle, a lot easier to maneuver around, and I got plenty of bed space on here to load stuff up. So what I'm going to try to do today, my intended goals are to get all this wood palleting out of here, get some of these attachments out of here and put into the garage down there. That could go, those two can go. These two big mow decks, they're probably going to have to go outside and get covered up, so I'd rather wait as long as I can, just to keep them from being out in the weather as long as possible. But that'll give me a good, and those hay bales, I could probably, I got a couple of tarps I could use to cover those. Should give those to a friend of ours. She has a horse stable. We used to keep our horses over there before we bought this place. In fact, that was kind of the reason we got this place, but that's a long, miserable, failed story in and of itself. Anyway, no horses. So could give them that hay. I think can put it to use for their horses. That can stay in here until the last moment, because that's easily driven out. Might as well just leave this in here till the last moment, because that's easily to hook on and snatch out of here. Leave that in here until the last moment, or I might take it out and just cover it up. The boat will stay in here till the last moment. I got to put the hoops back on it, the tarp, because when we get these the big tarps in, I can deal with that. I'll deal with this. I'm just not going to do it today because it's all rainy. Maybe tomorrow I'll get that loaded up on the trailer and get it on out of here. And save that for last because it's going to have to get tarped and covered. Alright, so that's kind of the plan for today. Wood palleting, jumps, attachments, and pallets. Well, I'm on my second load here. Working away. Got pretty much this corner cleared out, obviously except for the hay, which I gotta call a couple of friends of ours, see if they want it, and I take it over, drop those bales over to them. But I think I got all the wood from this side, some odds and ends stuff here. Pick that up. Jump stand pole holders. I'm not sure. There's some odds and ends up front there. And I'm going to pick those two poles up when I pull up here to turn around. I think I got a couple more poles over here maybe. Few pieces left over here. Yep. All right, well, I'll get these as well. So it continues. Me, myself, and I. But I'm knocking it out. The biggest thing was getting those things running, man. The scissor lifts. That's awesome. I don't know if I'll need help getting the Broncos up on a trailer. You know, to have them steer, somebody to steer them up for me. My winch, I don't think my winch cable controller is long enough for me to do it by myself, but I'll try. Just trying to get this stuff done. Get it knocked out. It's the way it is now. Alright, so here's where this loads. I think I'll put my PVC piping in that stack there. And the poles, I think I'll put right back in here. I think I'll put the poles like right in here. I'm not sure if the pallets will stay here or if I'll move them over there, but over by the fuel tanks. But this is where they are right now. I think I'll put that stack over there, but alright, so unload, load, unload, load. This is kind of crap. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those steel stanchions. To be determined. Alright, next on deck is the core aeration contraption plugger. I'll probably set this inside the garage back there. Then I gotta get the rake. I gotta find out what's gonna go on with these hay bales, because I'll probably need to use the spike to lift those up, and if they want them both, I might have to use the trailer, drop them onto the trailer and do that. But anyway, this is on deck, this is happening, that's on deck. I might get the bush hog over there as well today. And then I might move the boat around and see if I can't start to get hooked up to the black Bronco that's under the car cover down there. Alright, coming along. Alright, so that's where that found a home. I think I'll put the rake right back here. And then I'll get the gator and quad to see what I can do about fitting the Gator, the Quad, the Bobcat, and that tractor all right in this space in here. Might be tough. It's that thing right there. I think I'm gonna turn that and push it up against the wall. Or actually, I can turn it sideways, put it up against the wall. I can put the Bobcat, that Bobcat down here. And I might be able to get that rake in down here too. Get that and the rake and the Bobcat down here. Then that would give me, that John Deere can go in here, and then that would give me all of this space and that to get the Gator, Bobcat, and the Quad in here. I'll see. I'll just have to see what works for space. But I gotta go grab that rake now and get on that. Alright. Rake is hooked on and heading over to its new home for now. Hay bounce. Right along. Some aspects on this the pond and stuff, and in other ways I'm not gonna miss it. Still have plenty of area to take care of. Put up all this fencing, or had it put up. An Amish team came and put it all in. Believe it or not, I put this line in, and it took me like 2 weekends. Crew of 5 Amish dudes showed up, and they got all of this fencing done in a day and a half. I mean, putting the posts, pounding the posts, and stringing the wire. Day and a half, they knocked it out. All right. So sure I'm going to stick this in like right now, because I'm going to go get the Gator and the Quad and the Bobcat get back that's down in the arena to see if I can't try to figure out how to position all of this stuff in there. But first, I see a beer over there with my name on it. Well, that's a wrap for today. I got all the posts out of the arena, got all the pallets out, got all the PVC piping out. I think I said I got the jumps out. I got the black Bronco pulled and aimed to get it out of there. Got a bunch of the odds and ends stuff kind of organized and either tossed up on the trailer or put into a consolidated pile. Got some of the equipment some of the attachments out, the rake and the plugger, and so most everything can be pulled. You know, it's either a trailer or it can be driven out. The only two things that really can't be just easily done are the two small Broncos. And like I said, I got the black one kind of aimed out. I don't know if I'm just gonna tow it out of there, if I'm gonna put it up on the trailer and pull it out of there. That is kind of unclear right now. Figure that out probably tomorrow. But I'm pretty whooped. It's been a long day.